What's up, you guys? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the work remotely from Georgia visa. So this visa is basically going to be a 1-year visa. You could stay here for up to a year, and it's going to be different from just a regular travel visa because a lot of the countries right now are not able to enter Georgia. There are some countries like the US, the UK, UAE, and some of the EU countries that can enter without this visa. But if you're from any of the other countries, there's a list of about 95 countries that are allowed to enter under the work remotely from Georgia visa. And basically this visa is going to allow you to enter. You're going to have to do an 8-day quarantine, and then you can stay here from up to a year. Now, the application does say that you can only stay here you have to stay here for at least 6 months, but it doesn't seem like they're very strict with any of the rules with this visa, except for the fact that you've got to prove your income as a remote worker. So if you do want to come here for a shorter amount of time, I believe you can. I don't think they're going to do anything if you leave early. But yeah, so to get this visa, you're going to have to show that you make at least $2,000 USD for your remote job. Now, you could show this in the form of pay stubs. You can show this in the form of deposits into your bank account. I've also heard that you can show a certain amount of money in your bank. So if you have $24,000, which would basically equal 1 year of $2,000 per month income, you can show that $24,000 in your bank account and you should be able to get the visa. The way you apply for this visa is just going to be a form online, and all you got to do is fill that form out. It's pretty easy of a form. You just fill out your basic information, how long you're going to stay here, what country you're coming from, your passport information, and then you've got to show your proof of income. So for me, I basically just showed my last year's tax returns, and that was fine. Again, this visa process, you don't have to go to the embassy. It's just going to be a fully online process, and you just submit this information and they get back to you. It says within 10 days, but when we applied, we got it back in about 3 days. So you're also going to have to prove that you've got at least 6 months of health insurance. So that could be anything from like just travel health insurance, or you can have local Georgian insurance. I just went for basic worldwide travel insurance, and I showed the proof of 6 months, which was the first 6 months of being here. Now, I don't know if we're going to actually stay for the full 6 months or not, but we showed the proof of insurance for that when we submitted the application. Another thing you're going to have to agree to, like I said before, was going to be the 8-day quarantine, and you're going to have to book that through the government-approved hotels here in Georgia. Now, there's different parts of Georgia that you can travel to. I think most people are going to be going here to Tbilisi, which is where we're at, because it is the capital city and it kind of has the most things to do. So I figure a lot of people are going to be here in Tbilisi, and that's where most of the hotels are. There's some in other parts of Georgia. You can look this all up on the Georgian Embassy website because I don't know them off the top of my head. These hotels can range from like $45 to, I've seen some that were like $500 a night, but those were like a yoga retreat thing, which I don't think you'll be able to participate in any of that wellness stuff anyways, because you're going to have to be quarantined into your room. But yeah, most of the places are going to range between $45 and $100 per night. So you could also have a travel partner that comes with you, and they don't need to meet the requirement of the $2,000 income per month. But if they are going to be coming from another country or have a passport from another country that's not on that list, the US, the UK, the UAE, you're going to have to do this visa, and you're going to have to do the 8-day quarantine. Now, if you're coming from another country, like let's say you're from the US like me, but I came from Thailand, and my girlfriend has a Thai passport, we're going to have to go with this visa. We wouldn't be able to come in and just do the tourist visa. So the only people that are allowed to come in on the regular visa are going to be people from the US that are coming from the US people from the UK that are coming from the UK or the US. Any of those combinations are fine, but if you're coming from any other country, or if you have a passport from any other country, then you're gonna have to go with this visa to enter Georgia. And like I said, that travel partner is not actually gonna need to show the proof of income like the main person on the application will, but we had a very interesting experience with this visa, and the reason is once you get accepted. So what happened was we filled everything out, we had got accepted, but on the acceptance email they only put my name down, they didn't put my girlfriend's name down, which was a big problem because she's coming from Thailand and her passport is a Thai passport, which is generally not allowed unless it's under this visa, right? So it's not showing up on the email, and she's coming from a country that is technically banned if you're just coming in as a tourist. So we had a lot of troubles, like even at the airport, right at the airport in Bangkok, they wouldn't let us get on the plane. We were basically the last people. They had us standing at the gate waiting for approval because they had to call the embassy here in Georgia. We finally were able to get on, and then we got to Dubai, which was our connecting flight. And in Dubai, the same thing happened again. They barely let us on. They had to call the immigration here, and they were kind of iffy about it, and they just didn't want to deal with it, and they just let us go. And then when we got here to Georgia, same thing happened again. We're at the immigration. They're saying, we don't see the name on this email, so how do we know to let you in? And I mean, even though we had the confirmation number, they could have just looked up that confirmation number and seen that her name was also on that application. But I don't know what it is. They weren't prepared for this. And it seems like because this visa is such a new visa, they don't really know how to go about it. So one thing I would suggest is if you're coming from a country other than the US, the UK, the UAE, whatever, then I would have both people fill out a application for this visa. Do what you have to do to show the proof of income. Like I said, you can just show money in the bank. You can show previous contracts with clients. You can show past income. You could also show contracts for future income as well. So that's another way that you can prove your income. Either way, I would suggest that both people should just do their own application and don't use the selection to add like a travel buddy. So if you're going to be working remotely and you work for a company in your home country, you're going to have to show proof of employment. So you might have to get a letter from your employer showing that you work for them. And if you have your own business, then you would show your incorporation papers or DBA papers or whatever it may be, showing proof that you own the business. So I just showed my incorporation papers, showing my name and the name of my business, and that was good enough. Oh yeah, a couple more things with this. So you're also going to need to show a PCR test, which is marked 72 hours, at least within 72 hours of you leaving. So make sure that you do that on the day before you leave, because they're going to need to give you the results within 24 hours. So make sure that you plan that all correctly. They're very strict with the PCR test. Even with the visa, like they seem a little bit less worried about the visa, but the PCR test, they're very strict, and they want to make sure that's like the first thing that they ask for. So make sure you've got a valid PCR test. It says that you can show it in Georgian language. We had to go through Dubai, so Arabic would have worked, and then the safest bet would probably be just to be in English. They also said it could be in the language of your home country, but I think it would just end up causing you more problems at the airport and getting onto your flight. So if you can, just get it in English, and it's a lot easier to get through all of your connecting flights and when you get here into Georgia. And one of the most important things is that this visa is completely free. Like, you don't have to do anything except for show your proof of income. There's no hidden cost or anything like that. The only real cost here is basically going to be your PCR test, which is going to be the PCR test before you leave. And then you're going to have your 8-day quarantine. And then you're going to have to do a PCR test at the end of that 8-day quarantine. For quarantine, we actually were booked with another hotel. And at the last minute, they actually had to cancel on us because they went from being a quarantine hotel back to just a regular hotel because it seems like more and more tourists are allowed to come into the country. 2 or 3 months ago, even people from the UK, UAE, US had to go through this visa application to enter Georgia because they weren't able to get the regular tourist visa on entry. So there was a lot more need for these quarantine hotels, but now it seems like more people are allowed to come in. So yeah, they had to cancel our reservation, and we actually switched to a Best Western. So that's where we're staying at now. I'll show you guys a little bit of the room here in a minute, but I think our total cost for this hotel was around $700 for the 8 days, so a little bit under $100 each day. We decided to go with a place that has a balcony, a little bit nicer of a spot, and they also have like breakfast and stuff included. So yeah, we just didn't want to stay at like one of the really cheap places and have to be extremely bored with no outdoor or anything like that. So I'm glad that we went with this. So far we really like the spot and everything's been good here. Some of the other things with quarantine is we were able to find a couple of applications that we can order food and groceries and any other supplies that you need. So the two apps that they have here is Wolt and Glovo. So these two applications, Wolt is more of just restaurants and pharmacy, and then Glovo is going to be kind of like grocery, restaurant, pharmacy. They also have connection to buy things from the mall here. It's more of like an all-around app. I think you can also do things like an express delivery where they go to any location that you give them and they'll pick something up and then bring it back to you. And one thing to note with these is Glovo has a membership program, and the first month of it is actually free. So if you're going to be coming here to Georgia and you're going to stay in that quarantine, make sure you sign up for that free trial so that you can get free delivery for all your deliveries while you're in the quarantine. So let me give you a tour of our hotel. Probably the best thing about this hotel is this view. We've got a bunch of other apartments. We've got the hill here. At night you could actually see there's an amusement park over here and there's a Ferris wheel that sticks up. You can kind of see it right there. We also have the tower that lights up at night, which is nice. It's nice thing in quarantine and being able to like see people and just see people out and about instead of just being in our room and being so secluded. I would definitely say if you're going to be coming here, make sure that you get a place that's got a balcony. Let's go inside. Okay, so these chairs, we got these 2 green chairs. We've been living in these. I really thought that we'd be just sitting in the regular work chairs all the time, but these are so comfortable. We've been sitting here to eat and work and pretty much everything. As soon as we wake up, this is where we hang out at. So this is like our little hangout area. We also have got this big closet set up here where we've put our luggage. Let me hold this door because it might fall out. We didn't unpack everything because we've got too much stuff, but that's in there. And then we also have a second compartment here with some of our other stuff. We've got our other luggages here. One thing that happened was when we got here at first, we were so frazzled because we were trying to get into the country and they were giving us problems with the visa and everything. And we went to go get our luggage, and then they needed to check our luggage because we had too many cables and electronics and stuff in there. So we got confused by that, and we went to get our luggage, and we got all the way here to the hotel, and we realized that we left one of the luggages at the airport. So we called the front desk and asked them if they could have the driver go pick it up, and she said yes. And then a couple minutes later she called back and she's like, I'm gonna just go take a taxi and go get it for us. So yeah, it's crazy. The hotel staff here has been like so nice to us and everything. Yeah, I was just shocked that the receptionist was gonna go all the way to the hotel to get it, or to the airport to get it. But yeah, anyways, let's keep moving on. We got this full body mirror here. Here's our bathroom. rainfall shower. We also asked if they could bring us another table because we have this desk over here, but it's kind of over here in the dark and it's hard for two people to sit here. So we asked them if they can bring up another table, and they were able to get us a table from the restaurant that was downstairs, and they also brought us up a couple of chairs. So we've got our workstation and everything set up here for when we're working, if we're not over here in the chair where it's like so comfortable. But yeah, it's nice that they're able to pretty much accommodate everything that we've asked for so far. I wasn't expecting this. I mean, we came from Thailand where it's a little bit more difficult to get things, but here, yeah, they've been so helpful. They also have room service, so you can order some food from the room service. It's just gonna be basic foods like pasta, pizza. They've got steak, sandwiches. You could also order things from the bar, so they've got just like your regular drinks here, and then they also have red wine, white wine, and all the alcohols, beer, all that stuff. And they have this available from 12 to 11 at night. So that's nice that they have this as well. We've ordered from here maybe a couple of times. We've ordered a coffee, we've ordered some steaks, we've ordered some wine, and everything's been pretty good so far as the room service goes. But like I said, you also have Wolt and you have Glovo, so you can pretty much order anything you want from those apps. And the way that works is you just put in where you're gonna have it delivered, they bring it here to the front desk, and then the front desk will just bring it up, knock on the door, and then you can go grab it. All right, we also have our TV here. It's not a smart TV, but we brought an HDMI cable to plug in the laptop to the TV if we want to watch Netflix. We've got a little mini refrigerator here. We've got some sodas, some beers that we ordered from Glovo. We also got our little desk set up here. We kind of used it just for storage now that we've got this desk. We've got our bed, which has been really comfortable, but we're so used to the beds in Thailand where the mattresses are a little bit more stiff, so our back is a little messed up from it being so soft and comfortable. Got the phone here. The front desk knows us pretty well because we're always calling for stuff, and they're always so nice. But yeah, the room overall has been really comfortable to stay in. The design, the quality of everything here is really good. Compared to Best Westerns in the US, I think that this Best Western is a lot nicer than what you would get in the US. And another thing is the Wi-Fi. So this is gonna be one of the things that we were most worried about because we work online and we're gonna need the internet for pretty much everything that we do. But we've had almost no problems with the Wi-Fi so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's been good.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, pretty much everything has been like really good. We're surprised. I thought there's gonna be a lot more, I don't know, just little things that we had to deal with. But it's been so smooth.
Yes.
Right?
It's like such a nice view here.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, the best thing about the room is probably the fact that we have the view here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, overall our quarantine stay has been so nice. We're so excited to get outside though. We watch everyone outside walking their dog, playing with their kids, and just walking around and stuff. And we can't wait to get outside. There's so many things to do here. They've got, like I said, that amusement park up there we want to go to. There's hikes. There's just so much to do. Yeah, but the next couple of days it'll actually be raining, and then after that, when we're ready to leave the quarantine, then I think it's gonna stop raining, so that's gonna be perfect timing. So yep, if you guys had any questions about the work remotely from Georgia visa, let me know and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. I'll also put links down below to the application and to a blog post that I read that gave me all the information. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this video because it seems like I couldn't find that much good information about this on YouTube. It was only through a couple of articles, but even when I try to search for the article a second time, it's really difficult to find. It doesn't pop up well. Any type of information that you search for in Georgia, it's gonna look up Georgia in the US, the state, and not the country. So yeah, okay. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.
Bye.